warm welcome. Our submission is called the Gyan CRM Mentorship Platform, and this recording is more about our pitch. We firmly believe that the right to education is definitely important, for all of us, be it people who have studied, passed out, and busy at work, or the ones who are still studying now, or the ones who are yet to study. So, given this perspective, we've gone further to do some gap analysis in presenting our pitch, and it goes as follows. Well, first of all, though the Gyan Dan is more about searching for tutors or mentors that could help the needy students, we put a broad question out there saying, will searching for tutors or mentors steer us ahead? Well, the ahead is more about what education means to all of us and what it could achieve, for each of us, because we do know now that continual learning is part of life. So we also question that with all this boundaryless learning and mentoring, is there best practices? Is there a value for best practices as yet? More about our pitch. Since 2019, significantly, learning is not regular classroom based. The teacher and student can use offline, online, combo trends, or machine learning enabled referral modes to achieve course objectives and the necessary outcomes. We know evolving educational solutions, system products, and services. The World Wide Web has opportunity for many leading edge platforms. We do know about online classrooms and online web portals, but this does not mean dynamics mitigation or timely supply of formal syllabus, curriculum, course outcome based education. What we mean by all this is, okay, though we can learn online, is it formal and does it meet the objective of curriculum? The questions are largely because the emergence in the classroom teacher student dynamics or the teacher student connect is still changing. We have people who are passed out in this current modality. Some are happy and some do have questions. So putting this together, we call all this a point of emergence or an intersection. With the availability of virtual reality or online technology, we have Google Classrooms, the G Suite, Microsoft Teams, customized use of Zoom, Byju's, Akash, and others helping deliver classroom sessions remotely. We also have NPTEL that delivers technology enhanced learning to students in engineering, basic sciences, and selected humanities. And also, what we have is social science subjects. So, going further, we may find the ministry would definitely try to continue airing cognitive educational content via TV and other educational institutional frameworks. The multimedia content for all this is emerging. So we do know that the content reaching students or people interested in learning will definitely help them. It's not that the gap is in the content or its emergence. We find that the gap is more about whether the supply of education in the modality that's changing can enable quality of life advancement and conscious role play for what we call as different degrees of what may be the issue today. One could be the degree of freedom, where this broadly talks about the mode that's being used. The social accountability. Many people began education saying we can pay the fees and we can go through, or we can afford going to school and incurring costs. But suddenly, with technology and other factors setting in, the affordability has become an issue, and also mitigation of risk. We do know that curriculums are being shortened, improved, and what do you say sometimes, it was better to address the issue, but there's always risk because if we see most of the exams are being scheduled with the expectation that the curriculum will be completed as possible and not as expected. And so there is an element of risk there because when we talk about weightage of marks for competitive exams, the curriculum completion is most important. So well, minus is the industry is not coming back saying that they're looking at source or looking at source differently. What I say is one thing is CL bridge, but we have to connect or adaptive classroom environment. Okay, this is kind of a block diagram which puts together what I spoke of. There's a bridge on top, and it's trying to talk through different degrees of freedom, degrees of social accountability, and different degrees of dynamics mitigation. And at the bottom is our big question: the demand and supply for learning, assistance, and what we call mentorship. We reframing the thought that in a classroom where the teacher-student connect is kind of still dynamic, is agile or not, what we get well defined. Maybe the need to assign a mentor to each student. Okay, we become mentees then will be the new solution find. Addressing the issue of needy students. As Gyan Dan is supposed to address the issue of needy students. We go further. We say that the Gyan CRM framework we are proposing basically it looks at a mentor-mentee and a cycle that follows. It looks at remedies beyond stopgap combo modes we see today. Okay. We also look at the possibility the open schools many worldwide web also has helped independent certification and curriculum what do you say course objective completion and so on and so forth. And also, we find that in all this, there's an element of faulting program continuity looking beyond this. And what does it mean? Okay, we start off by saying we have a vision. The vision is to actually privilege all students to the mentorship platform that acts as a bridge for learning, coursework assistance, and physical mentorship. Now, though these words do seem as if they're put together, actually what it does mean is, when you talk about a bridge, it opens up solution finding that as we proceed the presentation, we understand better. Our platform offers a portfolio of products and services to help a student or mentee connect to a mentor or tutor for relationship that was just mentioned earlier. That's still learning, course objective assistance, and prescriptive mentoring. The Gyan CRM idea. Okay, though all this seems like, is this a lot to do? Is it about an app? Is it about a product? Is it about a product, framework? Is best answered by our website called as the ACMS, where ACMS stands for Accountancy, Commerce, Economics, and EMS stands for English, Maths, and Science. That's how we began. But definitely we step across see that the undergraduate, postgraduate, and other independent curriculums will be able to use our solution. Okay, going to say the Gyan CRM idea is still work in progress. That's because the customer relationship breadth of the solution and the need for emergence is extensive. We did not expect to complete this solution as an implementation, but we wanted to actually go ahead and suggest a model, an interface demo, which industry stakeholders could use for designing these best practices and also for trying to deal with what we call as a classroom teacher student connect that still has dynamics today. The portfolio, what we call as the Gyan CRM portfolio, will include a Gyan gallery, which just showcases us, showcases the institution, or the educational business, or the tutor, or the tutorial, and so on and so forth. And it talks about CRM maps, where the map basically is what the Gyan Dan was trying to do. It was trying to ask for an interface which helped possibly a student or a mentee look up the availability of a tutor or a mentor, and to go on and try to find out whether such services could be utilized, because we know that given that the demand and supply dynamics have set in, there will be a need for more private mentoring. I would call it mentoring more than tutoring, because tutorship has always been an important aspect. Not many will start off in life saying that apart from going to school they would want to be tutored. So we call it mentoring. This kind of fits in. There's nothing wrong, because all educational institutions do have the mentorship platform. We want to go further and say that even their mentorship platform, okay, maybe if actually affected by the dynamics today. So going into the Gyan CRM bridge, we see it as the one-stop possible best practice framework that could help here. So going further, we do request that you do visit the proof of concept solution interface website, and we have mentioned the URL here. Okay, so what we intend to do, naturally, as the questions about the competition and about what kind of solution we are proposing. Our target customers in educational solution market basically looks at underprivileged students, because why does it speak of underprivileged? Because we think they're as valuable as everybody else. Going further, low income family students, most people who have got affected by the crisis suddenly got classified as well. They have money, much more than being categorized as low income or underprivileged. And last of all, we see that the universally emerging future customers would be students, or the people who want to learn in environments that are formal. And if the environments are formal, whether they can cater to what we call as climate change that's going to be setting in, that has set in various ways. So we believe that the target customers are basically the emerging future customers, much more than trying to look at just the underprivileged society or the low income segment. Because all this put together, none of this simplifies the issue if we just call them underprivileged or low income. We go further to see that all students are going to be emerging future customers for something like a customer relationship model. Maybe we start looking at the solutions there. Okay, and once more, as we are participating in this competition, we find classrooms are changing. The need to connect a teacher or mentor to a student or mentee needs a model, and that model should be based on social accountability. So we do know that everybody has been accountable during the pandemic, and different people have helped, try to bridge the gap between money being there and it not being there, or resources being there and them not being, and so on and so forth. We're seeing that the issues are more like less acknowledged fee problems, pricing costs, facility management issues, technology application, or re-engineering costs, dynamics-led downturn and performance modes. So all this put together, it seems like we step into each academic year expecting to do the part that has always been known, but there's going to be change, and do we deal with change the proper way? To reduce issues, we need to define educational frameworks to bring in a concept called as customer relationship management, where we say that the CRM practice justifies why a mentor would be trying to see whether the mentee or the student has understood or does have needs that need to be fulfilled. A teacher in a classroom cannot, because the institution has not built its model for that, flexibility. And going further, capacity management. We know that mentors assigned to a group of students or a group of mentors are decided upon and further assigned to people. But looking at the capacity that the number of students in each class may change. Okay, what you're looking at is defining of the capacity management solution for the mentor-mentee assignment itself. Next, we also need to bridge gaps. Gaps for learning assistance, outcome management, and prescriptive mentorship. And these gaps are broadly that the offline mode, the online mode, the combo mode, and having mentorship to follow through on one's own time basis are all issues that we try to deal with. Though the solutions, though they work, and though they've helped people perform well, they still have gaps. And we also look at something called a source of variation, which we've discussed differently in the website. We've said that conformal accountability is the next step. We know that conformal accountability must work whether it's technology enabled or whether it's classroom enabled. And naturally, with all educational systems, our products, services, and platforms, so we do know all this has helped and will help. So we don't take away the feeling that each of this has contributed or will contribute. What you're saying is it sustainable? Can this be adaptive? And universally adaptive is the best, the right word or the phrase. And is it sustainable? And naturally, just to say here, sustainable means doing something again and again without impactful or untraversed changes. And this statement does bring to notice that we've not been able to do this. Source of variation, as I mentioned, though described better in the website, okay, can occur in any domain, program, course fulfillment. The variations can be in consistency, variations can be in errors, and the variations can be because of pairing factors. So, basically looking at today and the need to pitch for our solution, we look at the pairing factors that would commonly make an issue. The common, issues could be because a student or a mentee is at a location where he cannot avail of the best facility or the service. There could be a connectivity problem, there could be a road navigation problem, or just a location, containment problem. And we expect the COVID to solve. We don't expect the solution to pitch for the COVID problem. We expect the solution to pitch for what we call as classroom teacher-student connect problems, and we see plenty in that area. We also look at building a mentorship platform that can help, whether we're in an institution, whether we're in a business, or whether we're talking about private tutorials or tutors. And we're looking at delivery channels. We know that everything is happening via multimedia content, and we know it's rich, and we know content is emerging. We know there's plenty more that can happen. But we've tried to specify certain delivery channels that a normal person will be able to access and use. We also speak about some primary domains and area of mentorship. We also speak about prerequisite domains and areas of mentorship. And we find that all this put together, when we talk about pairing up all this, we find that the system may not work. So we've suggested something called as a choreograph, and a choreograph, in the mentor-mentee cycle, which breaks down to further other, life cycles, which are quite self-explanatory when you go to the website. So put this together, we try to say that if there are gaps in the educational system, maybe we're going to start by looking at what are the pairing factors. We're going to start by looking at choreographing, our ability to deliver. And going further, we're talking about reducing the variation. And the variation has affected and will affect. It's not that the Gyan CRM looks at the complete delivery for excellence. It does not. It positions you in a manner that if there are newer areas, it will accommodate the issues that may need to be mitigated there. And also it will let you think proactively, because if you look at a universal best practice framework, the mentors so assigned or so working within that framework will proactively work together to make it a solution that helps me if I happen to school in Bangalore, and me if I happen to shift to some other part of the country, or try to school from an international institution where I have to go online. So if I'm not able to be part and parcel of the classroom connect in the same manner, then basically there is a gap, and we will revisit the issues of such gaps again and again. So being able to put a universal best practice mentorship framework will help us transition from one environment to the other, from one geographical location to the other, and next from possibly one area of education to the other too. And I find that certain areas of education are going to be impacted if we don't put private, solution finding into them. And I appreciate that the Hacker Earth has brought up the Gyandan. We would like to, thank Hacker Earth and wish you all, good luck for this. But we see more, and we really welcome, you review this proposal and the solution finding for what it is. And well, do visit the website. The URL is mentioned again. Okay, thank you. I hope I've been clear, and thank you again.